Hello again. Like so many people, I fear, I'm growing a little dissatisfied with the police in this country. They seem to spend an awful lot of their time fretting about things which don't interest me and I don't think are any of their business, and not enough time catching thieves. We learned yesterday that the number of burglaries solved in Britain has fallen dramatically in the last 5 or 6 years. And we all know why this is. In about half of all neighbourhoods, not a single burglary was solved last year. Not one. Overall, in the entire country, between 2016 and last year, the rate of convictions for burglary went down by 40%. Until we're at a situation now where more than 95% of burglaries are unsolved. This is, of course, because the police no longer bother to investigate what must seem to them like a rather boring crime, just someone's home being broken into and robbed. They have so many other interesting things going on these days, and I think they simply don't want to waste time on dull old-fashioned crimes like breaking and entering. Many forces now have a policy of simply not investigating crimes which they might find hard to solve. That is to say, even when a householder reports a burglary, a police officer won't even come out to visit. Waste of time. Never mind that this is one of the most disturbing and upsetting crimes for many people, an invasion of the one little corner of the world in which they can feel safe. There are better things for the police to be doing, like looking into hate crimes and patrolling the internet to see if anybody is being offended by racism or transphobia. I mean, I don't mean to criticise. I spend a lot of time online myself, and fooling around with a mouse is certainly better than doing a proper job of work. Catching people who have spoken out of turn on Twitter is also less hazardous than patrolling the streets late at night, and not nearly so inconvenient and time consuming. Imagine having a job where you just scroll through Twitter looking for people who might be upsetting others. Nice work if you can get it. In case anybody thinks I'm exaggerating, I give a link to a news item in the description to this video about a man who was irritated with the footballer Marcus Rashford a few months ago and tweeted a rude remark about him. The police, who are obviously dead keen on Twitter, tracked him down, and he was convicted of sending a grossly offensive message by a public communication network and jailed. This is the kind of thing the police love, especially if it involves a celebrity and can enable them to look staunchly anti-racist. The fact is, people are rude and offensive to each other all the time. I can be pretty rude myself when the mood is upon me. Should the police be concerned with helping me and arresting people, though, because somebody has said something that's offensive to me? Seriously? I suppose that the stupid remarks people make here sometimes about my having a big nose and being supposedly Jewish might be taken to be grossly offensive and to have racial overtones. I wonder if anybody thinks I will be dialing 999 about that kind of thing. Having one's home burgled is a terrible thing to happen, while somebody being rude is the kind of thing which grown-ups just take in their stride. I don't mind people making snide remarks and hinting that I'm Jewish, but I'd be very annoyed if they were to turn up here in the middle of the night, jemmy open the back door and rob me. The two crimes are in a completely different league. They're in such different categories that I find it baffling that the police would really think that rudeness was worse than having your home being physically invaded. I believe that the police in this country must have taken a wrong turn somewhere.